Okay, setting a proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts. Oops. Our refuge field, what to visualize and how to visualize, which is Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened beings such as Ada Bodhicitta, Ada Manjushri, Ada Vajrapani, Ada Maitreya, Ada Tara, Ada Nagarjuna, Ada Sangha, and Bodhisattva Lama Selingpa, Bodhisattva Adishadevimari Shri Jnana, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas just filling the sky in front of you. And how you visualize them, they are like your parents, very affectionate parents, and you and all the sentient beings are like their children. And imagine you come home demoralized, feeling so sad out of being bullied by elder children in school. Certain mental defilements. We should know that the defilements we should know the nature of the defilements, which is of 2 kinds: afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations. Afflictive obscurations, which is much grosser, and cognitive subtler. And afflictive obscurations, the presence which stops us from achieving a freedom from samsara, freedom from miseries. And the cognitive obscurations stop us from achieving total enlightenment, full awakening. And what constitutes the afflictive obscurations is of 3 kinds: contaminated karmas, afflictions, and their respective active seeds, our active imprints. And the cognitive obscuration consists of the subtle stains of the afflictive obscurations. And now, knowing the nature of the 2 defilements so clearly, what are the remedies to apply to eradicate the mental defilements? For the afflictive obscurations, knowing that afflictive obscurations, they all boil down to the self-grasping ignorance. It is only through introducing the counter force, which is the wisdom of emptiness, wisdom of dependent origination. These 2 are the 2 sides of the same coin. It is through introducing the wisdom of emptiness, driven by renunciation, that we can possibly eradicate this afflictive obscurations. And the cognitive obscuration, we apply the same remedy, the wisdom of emptiness, but here the driving force, the motivating force should be much more powerful. That is the renunciation plus bodhicitta. So with that in mind, the Buddha nature can be fully awakened and fully manifested, and we are all gotten rid of the miseries. And the sun per se is never clouded, is never obscured by the cloud. The sun's forever blazing with light and illuminating every atom of the universe. So we become like a sun. where we are totally freed of all mental defilements, all stains, all miseries, and so forth. So this is the purpose. With that in mind, and imagine that you are leading this, and all sentient beings are happily joining you, and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Okay. Turn to page 2. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the Buddhas and of the hearers and Bodhisattvas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, who through the knowledge of past to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of omniscience, the subduer set forth the varieties having all aspects. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Page 7. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje choda zoge chonam la chanjo bardo dane yapsu che dage jinso yebe sonam dola benjir sanje do barayisho sanje choda zoge chonam la chanjo bardo dane yapsu che dage jinso yebe sonam ge dola benjir sanje do barayisho sanje choda zoge chonam la chanjo bardo dane yapsu che dage jinso yebe sonam ge drola benjir sanje do barayisho. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum te shantathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Okay, let's turn to page 10. to the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the four-destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God to human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you, who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best lot, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dusty like you, the incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the one gone with thusness I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtues that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sublime community intending virtue I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, clouds, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue all the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness and death. Heart Sutra, page 15. Okay, as we read the Heart Sutra, don't miss the 3 points. 1, what is the question asked by Shariputra? And number 2, what is the response given by Avalokiteshvara? Number 3, what is the benefit if we practice as directed or indicated by Avalokiteshvara? So for the first, the Shariputra asked the question that how should the child of a lineage, all of us, and given that we all come here for Jambi, to Jambi, and to attend the Bodhicitta retreat, at least wishing to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, having an admiration, having inclination, having fondness to this practice of Bodhicitta. So no doubt we all fall in this category of the lineage, the child of the lineage, of this particular lineage of the Buddhahood. So we are very fortunate. So how should such the being practice the perfection of wisdom? This is the question. Meaning that finally it is through the perfection of wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness, that we can think of eradicating all the mental stains and thus awaken the Buddhahood for the benefit of sentient beings. So first question. So this we should be mindful. And the second question, the second point not to miss, Avalokiteshvara, what is the response that he gave? The response he gave was starting from the self. So the child of the lineage should practice wisdom emptiness by seeing the dreamlike nature of the self, that even this self is dreamlike, just the dream comes from your mind, nothing from the object, while on the contrary, how we perceive things is that we perceive things every moment, 24/7 we perceive things as so objectively real, so solidly real. This is total deception that hinders us from achieving the nirvana as well as Buddhahood. Now Avalokiteshvara informing us or teaching us that we should view ourselves like a dream, and with the fact that we view ourselves as something so solid, one entity, but in actuality it's just the 5 aggregates, and none of the 5 aggregates is you. What is really there, if there's something there, it should be the 5 aggregates, but we view the self as something solid there, which is deception, that should be viewed as dreamlike. 1. Number 2, even each of the aggregates they're also dreamlike. And then the 4 noble truths are dreamlike. Then the 12 links with dependent origination are dreamlike. Then the 6 objects, the 6 subjects, and the 6 mediums through which we interact with the world, the total 18 elements, they're also dreamlike. So this is how Avalokiteshvara went on to explain how all phenomena that can possibly exist in this universe, they're all dreamlike. They're all coming from your mind. Once you come to know that they're all coming from your mind, then all our negative emotions, destructive emotions will stop. So through which all our decontaminated actions will stop, and the miseries will stop. So this is the absolute peace for yourself, and sharing this with other beings with tremendous love and affection, bodhicitta, then all other beings as well, the mother sentient beings, are all liberated. So this response given, and then the benefit indicated was that through this experience of the seeing things as illusion-like, dream-like, so there the benefit is that all our dreams, all our miseries will come to an end, all our fears will come to an end, and that this gate of the wisdom of emptiness is the only gate through which all the Buddhas of the past, present and future traverse to its ultimate enlightenment. Okay, so these are 3 points that we should not miss as we read the Heart Sutra. Okay. And imagine that you are leading this and all sentient beings are joining you. So in the process, while reading this Heart Sutra, it helps us to activate the wisdom. And by visualizing all sentient beings with you, and you are leading and inspiring all others, your bodhicitta is activated. So the bodhicitta and the wisdom both are activated simultaneously if you can do it in a skillful way. Okay, let us visualize the Buddha Shakyamuni and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they in front of us, and all your dear mother sentient beings around you, particularly your two parents. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on the mass of Valchas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, fading, discrimination, composing factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no fading, no discrimination, no composing factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and end, including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. There is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of the great knowledge, unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared: Deyatha Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Samgade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from the concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Ada, Bodhicitta, those surrounding the entirety, along with the word of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Bhagavan. Okay, as we read this and recite this Heart Sutra mantra, let us imagine the Buddha Shakyamuni so affectionately, so kindly exhort us thus. Don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come to its ultimate happiness. And you hearing this melodious voice of the Buddha Shakyamuni, you then inform your two kind parents and all sentient beings, let us not stay in this miserable state of samsara anymore. Let us not give in to self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude anymore. We will all go together towards the ultimate happiness by awakening the seed of the perfection, the Buddha nature. Let us go towards the ultimate happiness. And all sentient beings becoming so desperate and seeing that you are giving such a hope in them, they all happily join you, and you are taking all of them towards ultimate happiness, Buddhahood. With this, let's recite this. And all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so happily watching you, like the parents, so happily watching that the eldest daughter or the eldest son is taking all the other siblings towards the school or towards the happiness. Tirtha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tirtha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tirtha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tirtha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tirtha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha Tirtha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhi Swaha. Page 18. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of the truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. 8 Wisdom Mind Training. This is meant to activate our compassion. Heart Sutra for the wisdom. 8 Wisdom Mind Training for compassion. And the counterforce of compassion, Bodhicitta, is anger. The anger is the most aggressive mind, which directly severs our compassion towards others. Anger is one which pushes others away from you, and compassion is one which embraces others closer towards you. So we have to mitigate, we have to cut down, we have to eliminate this anger in order to leave room for compassion to grow. So this is one. And then do we see that anger and all these destructive emotions, they are rooted to self-referential ego. And compassion, so forth, they are all rooted to self-confidence. So we have to make a distinction between the two and never ever mix up the two things. See these two things as distinct and see how to exterminate, how to eliminate this self-referential ego, and how to boost your self-confidence. And greater you, more successful you are in doing this, this is indication, this is another indication, indeed the indication of our being into Dharma in a very genuine and in its true form. Okay. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains to my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From my true collections, vast the space that I have amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded with ignorance. Okay, the 7th puja, each of the 7 points we should be able to articulate, we should be able to view them very discreetly and wholeheartedly imagine that we're engaging in these 7 acts of clarifying the clearing obstacles, clearing the negativities, and accumulating merit, clearing the road of enlightenment, and then the energizing yourself with the enough merit to traverse this journey. Okay, page 22. I bow down to the youthful Ara Manjushri, you lions among humans, God of freedom in the present, past and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech and sincere mind, I bow down, with an energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva's way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world. To all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom are Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas. And I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With the infinite oceans of praise for you, and the oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you gone to bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented walls and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfume, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer it to you, victorious ones. Where transcendental offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all the victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech and mind, overwhelmed by my attachment, anger and confusion, all this I openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart, rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers, still hearing, the worlds beyond, and all of ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, earnestly request, you who are pray nirvana, please stay with us for aeons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have created, by paying homage, offering and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Okay, mantra offering. As we do the short mantra offering, we have to visualize reinforce the visualization of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are like your parents, so affectionate watching us, and you and all sentient beings wholeheartedly offering the best you can, whatever the best that you can imagine in the universe. Then those things which you possess, those things which you may not possess, but in the universe existent, you meant to offer all of them to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So meanwhile, say at home, it would be good that to make it a habit so whenever you go for shopping, see if there's something you can buy. As you know, the first thing before we think of buying something for yourself, see if there's something, be it a small item, it doesn't matter. Say something to offer to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then whatever you have to buy for your house, for your own use, you can buy. Okay, so if this can be made as a habit, this is a part of the mandal offering. This is a practical mandal offering. And then when you do this, just imagine that everything good that exists in this universe, what you have, which the universe has, on behalf of all sentient beings, and for yourself, you offer them to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This is what we are visualizing. Okay. This ground adorned with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sashibhage Joshimendo May I be blessed that my mind is directed to His Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that my path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Becoming frustrated with ignorance, they grasp at true existence. Please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Rana Menda Lagam Nirate. Amen. Okay, foundation of all good qualities, the actual practice. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying greater effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking thence the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so for all the mother victory beings, please bless me to see this twin in Supreme Bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vow with great energy. Once I have pacified distraction to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of karma abiding special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the Supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis for accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by praying, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble paths and the spiritual friends who practice it of long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from the perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Okay, if you turn to page 29, stanza 8, page 29, it says that even if I develop bodhicitta but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. Okay, 3 types of morality. 3 types of morality is the morality of refraining from the negativities. Morality of refraining from negativities, any negative thoughts, negative actions, and so forth. Morality of refraining from the negativities, number 1. Number 2 is morality of engaging in the welfare of the sentient beings. Morality of engaging in the welfare of the sentient beings. Then number 3 is morality of gathering virtues. Morality of gathering virtues. Morality of refraining from negativities, morality of engaging in the welfare of the sentient beings, morality of gathering virtues. Okay, so basically the idea is that when we speak about the morality, say any negativity, whether physical, verbal, or mental, so these we are not to ignore. Just see, to the best we can, we try to get rid of them. And in case we fail to do that once, then have a regret and make a commitment that I will not engage it in the next time. And then say the virtues, gathering virtues. I don't think that this is just a small thing. It's fine. No, be it small, just embrace it. Virtue, any virtue. Be small, try to embrace it, that will become a habit within you, and this habit you will apply this to any other actions. In your next lives, you see any small virtue, be it small, still you see this so valuable. For example, like a very tiny piece of diamond, you will not see that this is tiny, you will not throw this. Because it's so precious diamond, we make sure that it is taken care of. Likewise, in the virtues, be small, make it a habit to always embrace this. This is known as the morality of gathering virtues. And then morality of engaging in the welfare of the sentient beings. So, should you see that there's a choice between oneself sitting in samadhi, sitting in the meditation posture, we say, I'm not getting a chance to practice dharma. I'm not getting a chance to practice dharma. And then what is the practice dharma? The sit in meditation. Okay, so then this is so precious. No doubt, this is so precious, and just sitting idly, wasting time, and just say nowadays there are so many ways to waste the time. just steal our time, and then it is stealing our youth, it is stealing our the fresh mind and the body. Say today, whatever lifetime, whatever lifespan we are left with, today we are the youngest. So this the freshest of our body and the mind that we have of the remaining part of the life, that all the gadgets, they are just stealing away all this precious, the youth, the precious young body, fresh body, and the fresh mind. This is a great loss. Now, if there's a choice, and then instead of that, then meditating and this is so precious. Single point of meditation, Bodhicitta meditation, the wisdom emptiness meditation, and all these meditations is so precious. Meanwhile, if there is a choice meaning that if you're confronted with the situation where the neighbor or one of your relatives is terribly sick, and he or she has to be taken to hospital, and you are here, it's time for your meditation time. So if there's a choice there, then for Shravakas, those who seek personal liberation, very likely they may go for the personal meditation. Whereas for those following the Bodhisattva path, for them there's the morality of engaging in the welfare of the sentient beings. So that is more important, right? Helping someone to really get to the hospital and so forth, that is more important. Okay, so with this, the morality of engaging in the welfare of sentient beings. So there, keep in mind that if there is a choice to be made between helping someone and my personal engagement, so forth, if there is a choice, and of course skillfulness. Finally, the Bodhisattva path, that is all what underscores the Bodhisattva path is the skillfulness. That is so important, skillfulness, right? And then don't think that, okay, now this is what I've learned. Going back to Singapore, you leave your job, then you leave all your practice, then go to some hospices and these things. So there we need to have a very sharp discretion as to what to be done, what not to be done, what to be done at what time, what place, with what. All these things we have to check, right? So one thing that we need to keep in mind is generally speaking, unless you are so confident, don't change drastically. Meaning that your job, continue with that, right? Job, and you are helping your family, parents, these things, just continue to do what you have been doing. Meanwhile, see if you can take steps without altering what you're doing now. Without altering what you're doing, see if you can take another step. But don't take drastic steps. Taking drastic steps is quite dangerous. So it is lacking skillfulness. So the Bodhisattva's path is marked by the skillfulness. So take small steps and see how you say fare. And then from this we come to discover that, okay, now then you gain confidence. Okay, I take this one step, is fine. Okay, 3 steps ahead is a little complicated. So this is how we skillfully grow, right? Always start small and keep growing, right? Don't start big. And then you remain stagnant and you feel that I can't go anymore. So always start small. With your practice, small, right? Okay. This is the 3 moralities. Now let's go to the generating the mind of consummate yoga, or Tamje Ninjuk Simkepa. For this, the 4 things to keep in mind: renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, and the shamatha practice. What we do here is the shamatha practice first. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, let me quickly reiterate the 4 points for the single point of meditation. The body posture should be very important. Cross-legged, the body posture 1. Number 2 is the focal point. Number 3 is, what is number 3? Number 1 is body posture. Number 2 is the focal point. Number 3 is identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4 is applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Very good. Okay, the body posture. So see if you can sit cross-legged, right? Cross-legged. See if you can do that. If you cannot, don't push yourself too much. The left leg should be on your left foot should be on your left leg, right, and the right on the left, right? Sit cross-legged. So this, if you cannot, don't worry. You try in your rooms and at your home, going back home. So there, what we do is that you try to sit like this. So don't alter the arrangements, the 2 feet. So the left one should go to the right leg, and the right foot should go to the left leg. This is the sequence. So with this, while doing so, if you start feeling a little pain, then you put it down. Don't force yourself to go through pain so much. Going through pain so much, then you cannot meditate. Okay. Then when the pain is gone, again you bring it back. So this is how we learn, and our body will also learn that. 1. Now the cross-legged, then the body upright. This is so important. Body upright, yet not rigid. It should be flexible. Body upright. And if possible, try to make it a habit to always sit upright. Even if you like to lean, so when out of meditation, not, I'm going to say, at times when you're not meditating, you like to lean, you can lean against the support, but still keep the body upright. Keep the body upright. So make it a habit to always keep the body upright. So this, you will see the difference. When the body is upright, the mind is very clear, mind is very fresh, and the body is bent like this. Instantly you could feel the heaviness of the mind. Okay. This is the backbone upright, and then head tilted forward a little bit. So this is not as mandatory. In fact, there are practices where you just gaze in the sky directly without the head very straight, and you gaze in the sky directly. So your eyes are just cast in the sky there, and your mind is meditating. Your mind is not directed to the sky, your mind is directed inward. So there are such practices there. So the head tilted forward is for to train ourselves and initially. Otherwise later on, it is not as mandatory. 1. Then the eyes not close. Eyes not close. Only later on, when you become really good in meditation, then there are times where you might have to do it with the eyes closed. That is different. Okay, for the time being, we must learn how to do the meditation with the eyes open, half open, 45 degrees cast down. 45 degrees cast down, and your eyes are not meditating. It's just cast down, 45 degrees cast down, and then ignore. It is your mental consciousness we're going to meditate, which meditates. Then the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in the mouth. And then the lips and the teeth, keep them in their natural course. Breathe naturally. Don't force on your breath. Don't control your breath. Don't force on your breath. Okay, and your right hand should be on your left hand, and the tips of 2 thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the 2 hands on your laps in a restful state. Okay, this is body posture. Number 2, focal point. What are you going to meditate on? So here, this breathing meditation is one of the simplest meditation, yet it is very beneficial and helpful. You visualize a dot, a circular dot of 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter between nose and upper lip. So this is where you're going to focus your mind. While you focus your mind, they're multitasking. It's quite challenging. Just see how much you can do that. If you really struggle, if you have to struggle so hard and not getting anywhere, then feel free to let me know. Feel free to don't let me know in 2 days, right? Not just in 2 days. 2 days is nothing. You have to struggle. So same, if it persists like this, you are not being able to focus on the breath. You are not going to be able to focus on the anything. 2 things not at all happening. Then, let's say after about like 7, 8, 9, or 10, 11 days, then If I'm around, I'll be happy to help you. Otherwise, you can write to me. Write to me. Okay, so this you can do. So the idea is that when you are really confronted with the challenges, you must let me know or let other teachers know. This is very important. Okay. Then so while you focus on mind, the multitasking, which is quite challenging, but we can do it. And if you cannot, as I said earlier, let me know. Multitasking is to count the breath. Breath in, breath out, cycle 1. Breath in, breath out, cycle 2. And don't think that this is the only meditation. There are so many kinds of meditation. Even within breathing meditation, there are so many kinds. Some they focus around the nostrils. Some they follow the breath rather than focus on the nostrils. They follow the breath through your nose and then through the channels down and then coming up. There are so many kinds, right? So what you do is that what we are doing is a very simple one. We do this, you try to gain some stability and expertise in this practice. Once you gain some stability, then you can move to any other meditation. It is not that you have to stick to this all the time. So this will be used as a means to stabilize, to gain some experience of what meditation is like. And this experience and stability of the experience. Once you gain this, then whatever is most suiting for you, you can go for that one. And then eventually, so this is to build a concentration, the power of concentration, power of focus. Once you have this, then you are going to apply this, you're going to carry this part of the concentration to focus on emptiness, right? So when you reach to a great degree of command over the power of concentration and clarity of the emptiness, then you just do the meditation on the emptiness, maintaining the air. That is the supreme of all the meditation. Supreme of all the meditation. That suffices all the breathing meditations and all the meditations, because breathing meditation is just to gain the stability, focus. And with this focus and stability, our mind is controlled from engaging in the negative actions. So that way, our volition or the negative actions are being cut because of the gaining control of the focus. Now, the negative actions which we cut by the power of gaining the concentration and stability of the mind. So that is one. Now, seeing emptiness, that cuts even on the subtler level, because when your mind is really focused but without the emptiness experience, really focused, because of the concentration of your mind, you can stop your mind from engaging in the negative actions or other actions, any actions. So, but it still is having the action of focusing on the senses, focusing on the breath and so forth. And you see the breath as objectively real. You see the senses as objectively, still see the sense of objectively real, right? So now with that part, you cannot do anything without the wisdom of emptiness. Only with the wisdom of emptiness, then that part is cut. So, therefore, but trying to cultivate this concentration, focus on the wisdom and focus on emptiness right from the beginning is impossible. So, wisdom of emptiness should be practiced separately, and the single point of meditation should be practiced separately. Later on, at some point, when you gain a very good command over the single point of meditation, you gain, say, a very stable experience of single point of meditation, and you get a very clear picture of the wisdom of emptiness, very clear picture of wisdom of emptiness. Then you can combine it together. Then that suffices. That suffices. Meditation emptiness, meditation on the breath, meditation on the concentration, whatever. So all just by this single meditation suffices one of the practices. Okay, this is what we are doing. And now identify the errors of meditation. Errors, there are two. Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And say, depending on some people from their past lives, because of some habits, some practice from past lives, this life doing meditation is relatively easy with the quality. So the quality should be emphasized. is easy. For some, it may not be as easy. But don't think that, okay, I'm not meant for the meditation, right? I'm not meant for the meditation. This is not true. So imagine that each one of us, we are like a stupa. Don't forget this. This is so important. Each one of us, we are like a stupa, right? And some stupa are glowing. Some stupa may be a little dull, right? Yes, we see around. Some stupas are glowing, so clean, so pure. Some stupas, they are a little dull, dusty, right? So, however dusty the stupa is, but you can make this same stupa into a golden stupa, glowing golden stupa. How? Keep in mind that this stupa is nothing but made of thousands of bricks. You agree with me? Don't forget that this stupa, although however dull it might be, is made of thousands of bricks. Dependent on thousands of bricks, the stupa originated, dependent origination. Right? By dependence on the individual 1,000 bricks, then the stupa, the shape of the stupa originated. Dependent origination. Knowing the fact that this stupa is dependent originated, knowing the fact that this I, the person who's not good at meditation, who's not good at emptiness, this is like a stupa who is made of various thousands of parts. Dependent on these thousands of parts, this I, which is not so good in meditation and so forth, it is originated, dependent origination. Now, like a stupa, if you want to make this stupa gold, what you do is that you remove one piece of worn out brick, replace this with the golden brick, right? The next day, you remove another worn out brick and replace this with the golden brick. Day 2, it will not shine, but the process already started. Now after about like say 10, 15, 20, 100, 200 days time, now the stupa starts to shine. You're getting it? Shine. Then after like say 300, 400 days time, when all the bricks were replaced completely, then the stupa becomes a golden stupa. Is it the same stupa or different stupa? Same stupa, right? Likewise, same stupa, likewise, we do the practice with quality. Golden brick, not another worn-out brick. With the golden brick, you replace with a quality meditation, a quality reflection, and so forth. Then we're like stupa, we slowly start to shine, right? And then next life, again you come to the Jambi retreat, right? So there, somebody teaches you, and it's so easy for you, and others will say, wow, you're very special. Actually, you are not special in the past life, 2017. You are a hopeless person, and you put effort. So this effort now ripens in your next Jambi retreat, in your next life, right? And then you are very special. Everybody feels so amazed by you. Okay, this is how things work. By knowing that we are all dependent originated, simply try to create the factors dependent upon which we glow, right? Okay, so for this, the quality should be emphasize the quality, which is that the meditation, the quality the two errors. So you have to remove the errors. Remove the errors, you are focusing on the quality. Okay, what are the two errors? Mental excitement and mental laxity, right? So two errors. Mental excitement, mental scattering. And say when you keep meditating, then your mind, without any effort, spontaneously the mind goes around. The mind starts to chat with you, right? It's amazing how the mind chats with you, right? Okay, so when you sit meditating, and then you try to just stop the distraction and stop laxity, and the mind tells you, wow, you are doing good, right? And mind tells you, yeah, you're doing so good. And if you say, yes, I'm doing good, you're already distracted, right? And you don't say anything, okay, I don't care, right? You just still continue your meditation. Then the mind said, yes, amazing, right? You are not at all distracted, amazing. Right? And then you still continue. Wow, it's amazing. The mind tells, as though like there's another person talking to you. And as well as another person telling others that he's doing so good, she's doing so good in a meditation, right? So here you're doing so correctly, you're doing so properly. Now make sure that you're not distracted. And then you say, yes, I'll not be distracted. You're already distracted. Amazing how the mind distracts us, how the mind chats with us, right? So this is how we have to build up quality in a meditation, right? So these things are bound to happen. These things are bound to happen. Sometimes the mind creates stories, tells you stories, amazing stories. It goes, and then suddenly you wake up. You come to know that you were just in amazing physical posture, no meditation, right? Okay, so we have to focus on the quality. The quality comes when you're able to avoid the two errors of meditation. Okay, so now if these two errors happen, what should we do? We go for number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. What are the two remedies? Introspection and mindfulness. Okay, introspection is to spy, to keep an eye on our own mind, to see whether we still on the focal point meditating or distracted or in a relaxed state. And you see that your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state, the job of the introspection is done. The next is the job of the mindfulness. Okay, this is what we should be doing, right? Okay, so now with this, I'm hoping to do later on, at a later stage, hoping to do the instruction on the meditation on the nature of the mind, right? Nature of the mind. I'm not expecting us to be actually doing this, but we must know the instruction. If you know the instruction, and then you initially do this breathing meditation, continue with this, and some degree of stability comes to you, then see when to move to the meditation, nature of the mind, which is so beautiful practice. Very powerful, very beautiful practice. Okay, we'll surely do that one day, not now. Okay, now 5 minutes. Okay. Next is the renunciation practice. Renunciation. The practice of renunciation we're going to do on the basis of the 4 seals. Practice of the 4 seals. This is going to be more in the form of the guided meditation, and keep in mind that after about like 2 or 3 days time, it's not going to be guided meditation. It's going to be just in the form of the outlines will be given to you, like each of the 4 seals going to be enumerated one after the other with a gap of like 2 minutes, and then your job is to be able to meditate on these points yourself. So for the time being, for the next 2 or 3 days, we will do it on the basis of the guided meditation. I'll try to give the instructions, and later on when you do on your own, so what instructions that I'm going to give, don't forget those instructions. Meanwhile, if you can elaborate on this, that's even better. According to your own experience, you can elaborate, that's even better. Idea is that at least the instructions that I'm giving you, that you should not forget. You shouldn't forget. And after 3 days, no instructions. So you have to be able to manage by yourself. This is known as analytical meditation. Unlike the single point meditation, where the instruction is given and it's very simple, just follow this and maintain it. That is single point meditation. Now what we're doing is analytical meditation. There are 2 kinds of meditation: single point meditation and analytical meditation. Single point meditation is to stabilize your concentration, and the analytical meditation is to grow. Analytical meditation is to grow your, is to transform your mind, and this transformation requires stability. So single point meditation will help us to stabilize the mind in the process of growing. Okay, so the 2 things, both are required. It's not that one supersedes the other. Both are required. Okay. For single point, for the renunciation practice, okay, this is going to be the guided meditation, and our job is to see how much we can follow the instructions and try to invoke the respective experiences to the best we can. And where necessary, when the instruction is given, to abide in the experience, you try to just maintain the rigor of the experience and abide in it. So, okay, this is the purpose. We can now sit properly, sit upright. The renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce our miseries. And this renunciation, to cultivate this sense of renunciation, sense of urgency to achieve freedom from samsara, the Buddha taught the 4 seals. And later on the basis of these 4 seals, the later teachers, later commentators and teachers, they not really modified, they came up with their own thoughts and put the same 4 seals in different forms, such as the lemon practice, and of course the Satipatthana practice is also taught by the Buddha himself, and lemon practice and the 4 reflections according to the other Tibetan traditions and so forth. But the 4 seals, this is what the Buddha taught, and if you know this, all others, you will come to see that all others are also the same. Okay, the first seal: all composite things are impermanent. In renunciation, wanting to renounce the miseries. If you want to renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce the causes of the miseries, for the fact that the miseries arise from the causes. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava. All phenomena arise from the causes. So, amongst the causes, we see that there are distortions, misconceptions, which are responsible for creating the miseries. One of which is viewing things as permanent. Viewing things as permanent. So to counteract this, the Buddha taught all composite things are impermanent. And this impermanence is of 2 kinds, the gross and the subtle. the gross one, which is a phenomenon, the termination of a continuum of a composite phenomenon, termination of the continuum of a phenomenon or of a composite phenomenon. For example, say the beautiful sunshine, and as it approaches the dusk, beautiful sunshine comes to an end, and the beautiful sunset, as it becomes dark, the beautiful sunset comes to an end, and the beautiful spring comes to an end by the monsoon, and the monsoon comes to an end by the autumn, and autumn by the winter, and so forth. And the beautiful young child comes to an end with sickness, aging, and death, and so forth. And a very beautiful moment of time together with one's parents, with one's relatives, friends, and so forth, comes to an end in separation. These are the facts of life. This is what is known as impermanence. These are the facts of life. Whether we believe in it or not, whether we want to think about it or not, these things will eventually strike us. The more we think about them, the more stable we will feel, the less we will be affected, in shock, when these actually strike us. And all these gross impermanence, underscoring the gross impermanence is the subtle impermanence, which is a momentariness. And all composite phenomena, anything which is composed of particles, such as atoms, anything which is composed of the moments of the mind, they are necessary of the nature of impermanence. What we see growing as 10-foot tall tree, taking 10 years, we see that it is only by growing one foot per year. Not that for the last 9 years it remained just like a sapling, and suddenly tomorrow is going to be the completion of 10 years, and then suddenly it mushrooms, like it grew to such height like mushrooming. This is not the case. 1 year, one foot, and then within this 1 year there are 12 months. Every month it has been growing 1 inch. It's not that for the 11 months it remained just like a tiny sapling, and suddenly, tomorrow is the completion of 1 year, I should grow 1 foot, and suddenly it shoot up to 1 foot. It's not true. Every month it was growing 1 inch. And then 1 month has 30 days, 31 days. Again, this 1 inch has been growing 1 divided by 30 of an inch. This is how every day it was growing. And 1/30th of an inch, the size of the sapling in 1 day. So that takes 24 hours, and every hour it has been growing. And 1 hour it has 60 minutes, and every minute it has been growing. Growing means it has been changing. And 1 minute has 60 seconds, and every second it has been growing. Every second it has been changing. Although we may not see the movement of the hours, and we may not be seeing the movements of the minute hands, but we do see the movement of the second hands. So this is how the tree has been growing. This is how your body has been changing. This is how the entire composite phenomena, all the composite phenomena, they are undergoing the change. And 1 second has 1,000 milliseconds. And all the composite phenomena, this tree has been growing. It's been growing by millisecond by millisecond by millisecond. Likewise our body, likewise our mind, likewise all the composite phenomena with which we interact, we see that they are growing or they are changing millisecond by millisecond, and millisecond so fast, so fast. Although we see the composite phenomena so static, stable there, this is our illusion. It is simply because of the limitations of our eyesight that we see things as so static and so stable. In actuality, nothing, no composite phenomena, not even a single atom of the universe is staying stably and the static. Everything is in constant flux of change. This is reality. This is known as all composite things impermanent, marked by the subtle impermanence. We do have to think about the gross impermanence that will give us a sense of urgency, that will give us a sense of meaning to our life, that I should not be hanging after the very trivial happiness. This is all just transient, impermanent. And then reflection on the subtle impermanence, this will give you really a sense of urgency, towards Dharma, which in the Bodhicitta they considered so important, saying that of all the footprints is the footprint of the elephants, the supreme, of the largest. Of all the meditations, the meditation impermanence is the supreme, indicating that if you have this meditation, all meditations will automatically flow because of the sense of urgency. So with this subtle impermanence, we see that our body is moving so fast. In other words, our body is aging so fast. Our mind is moving so fast, and everything around, nothing's really there to hold on to it and say that I like it, I feel attached, I desire this, I want it. The moment we say I want it, you go to grab at it, it also already changed. What you actually want, it disappeared. The new thing has come. And that is not the one which you actually said I wanted. And even that, you grab at it, you go to grab it, by the time it reaches there, again it disappeared. It has already disappeared. So we see that all are so transient. With this awareness, the worst of the part is that our body is undergoing this very fast moving change. Change towards where? Towards the final end, which is death. So we are moving so fast, like we're being thrown into a very fast train. If you're suddenly thrown into a very fast train, what is your thought? What is your reaction? So much of fear. Faster the train, more the fear. Because we don't know where this train is taking us. Likewise, we're moving so fast, we're aging so fast. Where is this train, like the impermanence, taking us towards the death? And what after death? After death is totally the unknown mystery. So that is decided by, so where this train is taking us, the destination where this train is taking us depends on the driver of the train. In our case, unfortunately, while the driver is the mind, this mind which is like the driver, this mind is under the sway of the two demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. Had it been the case that this mind is directed, let's say the driver is your mother or a father, for sure, they will take us to the destination they're going to take us is the nirvana, or the picnic spot like this. But unfortunately in our case, it's the demons, the two demons. So these demons, their job is only to take us to the slaughterhouse of the impermanence. So painful, excruciatingly painful. So this is where the two demons are taking us. And what is that end result of where it is taking us? This is known as miseries. The two demons, they are the worst of the mental contaminations. And the Buddha said that all contaminated things are of suffering nature, the second seal. With this, as long as we are under the sway of the two demons, we'll only end up into miseries. What kind of miseries? Sickness, aging, death. Go to the hospitals. Go to the ICUs in the hospitals. It's terrible, terrible. And this is where these two demons are taking us. Go to the KFCs. This is where the two demons take us there. And go to the slaughterhouse, animal slaughterhouse. This is where the two demons are taking us. Go to the terrorists, gangsters, and the victims are there. This is where these two demons are taking us, and the aging, the death, and then the depression, stress, tension, fear, and so forth. And look at all the poor fish in the first hotel. So these fish, what is their plight? What is their next moment? They don't know. And those crabs, and so forth. So pathetic. This is where the two demons are taking us. And it is literally happening. It's just a matter of time. It's literally happening. This is known as all contaminated things are suffering nature. Okay, that's very scary. So scary. Is there a way out? Yes, of course there's a way out. All these miseries, knowing that Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Deshan Tathagato, what the causes of the miseries are is indicated by the Tathagata, by the Buddha. What are the causes which the Buddha indicated to us is that all miseries they arise from the contaminated karmas, which in turn arise from their afflictions, which in turn arise from their ignorance. To the best we can, stop engaging in the negative karmas. To the best we can, don't give in to the afflictions such as attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth. To the best we can, see how we can exterminate this self-grasping ignorance. Only if we can exterminate self-grasping ignorance, we can bring an end to the miseries altogether. Otherwise, all other means, at best they can temporarily stop us from undergoing the excruciating miseries, but they cannot stop you altogether. It is only through exterminating the root of the miseries, which is self-grasping ignorance, that only then we can hope to exterminate the miseries altogether. So how can I exterminate this self-grasping ignorance? Very good. Self-grasping ignorance, given that it is ignorance, it is like darkness. In dark we don't see the reality, we don't see what is around you. With ignorance we don't see the reality. So ignorance is like darkness. Just as to eliminate darkness we have to introduce light. It is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eliminated. What is that wisdom? Wisdom, by the very definition, is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What is reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as a third seal. Everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Okay, what does it mean by everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness? It means that nothing exists objectively. All are like dream. Just when you wake up from the dream, coming to know that the dream ghost is just mine, coming from my mind, nothing from nothing as real, the fear dissolves. Whereas in the dream, seeing the dream ghost as real, so objectively real, the fear automatically arises. Likewise, all phenomena, they are like the dream ghosts. They're all coming from a mind, nothing to be scared of, they're all coming from a mind. And how can I know that dream ghost is everything is like dream ghost, everything is dream, everything is coming from my mind? How can I know this? Very good. Okay. Let us think about the flower, the beautiful flower, a lotus flower or a rose flower in front of you. This rose flower, how does it appear to you? Like a dream or something so solidified there? And of course, so solidified there, so solid there, it's not like a dream. How can I know that it's like a dream? Okay, good. This flower, if it does exist the way it appears, is so solidly from the object, the closer we go to this object, we should be able to see the flower more vividly. Now let us see whether the flower exists objectively the way it appears to us, or this perception is totally illusion, that is just coming from my mind. How can I know this? Remember what Aranyaka said. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? In a like manner, if this flower were to exist objectively, why don't I see this flower as I go closer to its object? Okay, now let us go closer to its object to see if the flower does exist objectively there. And if it disappears, it's a clear indication that what we see as the flower existing objectively is totally illusion, is totally deceptive. Okay, now let us go towards the object. Going closer and closer and closer to this object, we end up seeing the way we see, the way projected by NASA company of this beautiful the leaf, flower leaf. See, initially we see that the very tender leaf or the tender flower. As we go closer through the electron microscope, we see that this tenderness simply disappears. Instead, it becomes so cracky and hairy. There's no beauty there at all. The earlier perception of the tenderness disappears, replaced by the cracks and the hairs. Go further, closer to this object. We see that now the cells, they become prominent. Cells which compose this flower become prominent. Cell membrane separated, each of the cells separated by cell membranes, and inside the nucleus, and between the nucleus, the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, and within the nucleus we see the chromosomes, and chromosomes are so scary to be seen, particularly the real chromosomes, as can be seen under the electron microscope, as shot by NASA company. It's like the snakes, the brownish snakes, so scary to look at. Now the earlier appeal of the beautiful flower disappears. Instead, that appeal is replaced by the fear, the fear. Okay. Now going further, we say even these chromosomes, which appear so repulsive, even they are made of molecules, and the molecules are made of atoms. Now even the chromosome disappears, only the atoms remain. What do you see now? I'm seeing millions of atoms. Where is this beautiful flower? The flower disappears. Okay, stay there for a while. Just see the millions of atoms. Ask yourself two questions. One, what are you seeing? I'm seeing millions of atoms. Second question, where is this flower? The flower disappears. The flower is empty. Abide in the experience of the answer that came to you to the second question. The flower disappears. The flower is empty. Stay there. Now, slowly, don't just sit in this posture as you are. Imagine that you are now coming out of remove the electron microscope. Again, the flower comes back. Put back the electron microscope. Again, the atoms come back, the flower disappears. Again, remove the electron microscope. Again, the flower comes back. Flower comes back, disappears, comes back, is empty, comes back, again is empty, comes back. There's a constant change happening there, constant change. The flower is there, the flower is not there. Flower is there, the flower is not there. So this change is not happening on the object. Object-wise is the same. If there is a change, the change is a change in the perception. And the perception is purely your subjective phenomena. It has nothing to do with the object. So what involves in the perception is purely subjective. And the flower which disappears, is purely subjective, purely perception, which is purely subjective. So therefore this flower which I was seeing earlier, so object real, is nothing but subjectively real. It's all coming from the subject. From the object, there's no change. We did not alter the object, but some change is constantly happening. That is happening on the subjective level, not on the object. Okay. Put back the electron microscope. Bring the electron microscope once more. What do you see now? Don't forget the 2 questions. First question, what are you seeing? I'm seeing millions of atoms. Use this, seeing the millions of atoms, use this as a stepping stone. Ask the second question, where's the flower? The flower is empty, the flower disappears, the flower is empty. So remain in this experience. The flower is empty, remain in that experience. Okay, what is the benefit of seeing this? This is known as everything is empty. Everything is of nature empty and selfless. So what is the benefit of this? Amazing benefit, amazing benefit. Just as a flower disappears, we subject all our pains, all our miseries, all we dislike to the same analysis, they will likewise disappear. They will likewise disappear. For example, the ghost, you perceive a ghost, and suddenly the ghost disappears. What a relief. When the ghost appears, there's so much of fear. When the ghost disappears, there's such a relief. Likewise, all the miseries, they appear to a mind. But when subject these miseries to the same analysis, they all disappear. What a relief. All the sickness, aging, death, tension, stress, depression, angst, all disappear when subject to this experience. Even the sorrow disappear. All mental agitations disappear. The sorrow disappears. You have transcended the sorrow. What we seek is the freedom from this mental agitation, irritation, anxiety, and so forth. And this freedom is the peace. You have transcended the sorrow, and the peace is implanted. You're experiencing the ultimate peace. The more we can sustain this experience, the more we can have the peace being experienced. If we're able to experience this meditation, sustain this meditation for good, we experience the ultimate peace for good. This is known as the 4th seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Amazing. This is known as renunciation. Now you've already renounced all miseries along with the causes by the power of the meditation of emptiness. This is the true renunciation, where you're able to renounce the miseries altogether. Now with the help of the single point of meditation, we have to stabilize this experience. Whereas without this emptiness, purely with the single point of meditation, you can have single pointedness, but the profundity, the depth of the experience of the dissolution of all miseries will not happen. Now with this meditation, supported by the single point of meditation, you're able to sustain this absolute peace. Okay, slowly come out of the meditation. Okay, now we'll move to Bodhicitta practice. We'll move to Bodhicitta practice. Reinforce the visualization. Reinforce the visualization of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you. And how you visualize them, that is so important. They are like your very affectionate mothers. You reinforce the visualization of Bodhicitta field, your 2 grandparents, all the family members, and all the other sentient beings. Everyone in this, all the staff of this the resort, and everyone in Jambi, everyone in Indonesia, everyone in your own countries, everyone in this world, everyone in Milky Way galaxy, and everyone in the entire universe. And how you visualize them, you are like their very affectionate mother, and all are like your children. Okay, we're going to do the practice of the Bodhicitta on the basis of the 4 immeasurables. Try as much to invoke the experiences, to to the best you can. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are so proud and intensely happy over seeing that you, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment. They're intensely happy. This happiness and the pride that they feel invoke the compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars, very soothing lights towards you and all dear mother sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies beings yours instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness within the minds of sentient beings in yourself. You witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all the dear mother sentient beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from the suffering and the causes of suffering. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, like a mother for the first time hearing her eldest daughter, eldest son, reassuring the mother, "Mother, please take rest. I'll take care of all siblings. I'm already grown up. You have done everything thus far. You've done everything. We're already grown up now. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of mine. I'll take care of my siblings." Imagine for the first time, the mother could not believe her ears, tears rolling down her cheeks. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They're intensely proud and happy to see that you are making such a courageous commitment. And this pride and happiness that they feel invoke the compassionate omniscient minds to send for nectars, very soothing lights towards you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars with the bodies makes you yours, washes away all the miseries and the cause of the miseries from the dear sentient beings in yourself. You witnessing that such a miracle is happening to all the dear sentient beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear mother sentient beings be never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you, and this pride and happiness that they feel invoke their compassionate, omniscient minds to stand for nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies beings in yours stabilizes the happiness and the cause of happiness the beings are endowed with. And you witnessing such a miraculous happening to us all ultimate sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear mother sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invokes their compassionate, omniscient minds to send forth nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies beings of yours frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dear mother sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. You are witnessing such a miraculous happening to us all ultimate sentient beings. You are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Underscoring all the 4 immeasurables is unconditional love to us all ultimate sentient beings. Abide in this unconditional love for a while, imagining that with this unconditional love to us all ultimate sentient beings, you are looking at the eyes of each of the sentient beings to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. Now with folded hands, let us make the commitment of Bodhicitta. I'll say the line of commitment, we'll all say these 3 times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Abide in this courageous commitment of Bodhicitta. This is the most beautiful mind that possibly exists in this universe. The mere presence of this mind simply eases you, simply gives you such a delight, such an appeal, such a joy. Everybody will love you for the fact that you have this beautiful mind which attracts, which is like a magnet, which attracts everyone. This is the most appealing mind that can possibly exist in this universe, and today you have it. And now slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into spotlessly clean, white moon disk, 1 inch or 2 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting at your heart. It's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment of Bodhicitta, but What guarantees that you can become Buddha? One. Number two, even if there is some potential within you, but thus far, till time immemorial, till now, you did not have this Buddha nature awakened. So how can you say that it can be awakened now? Yes, it's very true. Unlike squeezing a handful of sand, no oil coming out of that, it is not like that. It is more like the handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing away the oil come out of that. Likewise, we all, through concerted effort, there is a seed within us, seed of Buddha nature within us, seed of perfection within us, which is also known as Buddha nature. But it's not activated till now. How can you say that you can activate it now? It has been since time immemorial till now. Yes, that's very true. So since time immemorial till now, I've been thinking that the two demons are actually my friends, self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude. These two are my friends. Now for the first time I discovered that this is not true. These two are the worst of my enemies. These two are my demons. I'm already disillusioned by these two things. I'll never give in to these two things. I'll exterminate these two things. Wow, that's very true. That's very good. But how are we going to exterminate the two demons? The two demons are to be exterminated by the wisdom of emptiness supported by Bodhicitta. So what is this wisdom of emptiness? Quickly retrieve the experience of emptiness which you meditate as the third seal of the Buddha's teaching. Quickly retrieve the experience of the emptiness of the flower. Imagine that you go into the depth of the atoms, looking at the flower through the electron microscope. Okay, what are you seeing now? I'm seeing millions of atoms. Second question, where's the flower? The flower disappears, the flower is empty. Abide in this experience for a while. Experience with emptiness for a while. Slowly transform this most fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotlessly clean white vajra, thumb-sized white vajra, vertically sitting on the moon disk at your heart. It's amazing. Now that you have the moon disk, which symbolizes the conventional bodhicitta, which is unconditional love, desiring to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. This guarantees that one of the true demons, self-centered attitude, is going to be exterminated for good. And the Vajra, symbolizing the ultimate bodhicitta or the wisdom of emptiness, this guarantees us that a self-grasping ignorance will be eliminated for good. Amazing. Now the two demons, you already have the instruments to exterminate two demons for good. Amazing. This is the greatest moment. Yes, but don't forget that all your dear sentient beings are around you. They're also suffering. Yes, of course, with tremendous love and affection towards all sentient beings. The intensity of love and affection that you have invokes the Vajra moon to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set with your mother at her heart, one set with your father at his heart, one set with each one of your family members, one set with each one of those staff in the resort here, one with each one of the beings in Jambi, the people, the animals, and so forth, in the insects in this beautiful place Jambi, the holy place Jambi. One with each one of the dear sentient beings in the whole Indonesia, in the whole of your country, in the whole of the universe. Amazing. Now everyone, all the dear sentient beings have this Vajra moon, which is the greatest gift that you can potentially think of giving to your mother sentient beings, and today you did it. Amazing. Again, don't forget that all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so proud, they're so happily watching us, they're so happy. Yes, why don't we invite all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to be a guest, and to be the witness to undertaking the aspirational Bodhisattva vow. So for that matter, let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations along with all dear sentient beings, 3 prostrations as a gesture of requesting all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to be our guest and witness to this undertaking the expression Bodhisattva vow. Okay, imagine that all sentient beings are joining you in these making preparations, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Okay, those of us who have leg problems, pains of knee problems, so forth, you can sit with whichever position is comfortable for you. For others, you sit on your right knees. Oops. Sit on the right knees and I turn to page 34, I think. Okay, page 34. And since that is going to be, maybe it'll last for some time. In the process, if you start feeling pain, then you sit comfortably, because the pain should not hamper us from this taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Okay, so reinforce the visualization of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are with tremendous joy and happiness. They are witnessing what we are doing today, and visualize your two parents, all the family members, all the sentient beings with you. And because of the inspiration that you have given, everyone is so happily joining us, everyone here. The staff of the resort, everyone in Jambi, everyone in the Indonesia, everyone in the entire universe, they're all joining you, and you are leading this. With this mind, we will recite the page 34, the first stanza. So this stanza is to prepare ourselves to this ceremony. So the meaning, I'll explain this now. I'll go for reference to the Triple Gem. So since the ceremony is so noble, it's a very important ceremony, so therefore we need the support of a great support, and greatest of the support that we can think of is the three jewels. So we seek the support of the three jewels, and that we are able to successfully undertake this journey. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. The next, I confess the negativities individually. So because that this ceremony is to undertake, is to start a big journey, very important journey. So this journey, the road must be clear. The best way by which they clear the road of this journey, because there is an internal journey of the mind should be cleared of all the obstacles and all the defilements. The best way by which to do that is by confessing the negativities. So the second line says, I confess the negativities individually. Once the road is clear, the vehicle should have enough fuel to undertake this journey. So our mind is the vehicle, and this mind should have enough merit, the fuel like merit. The best way by which to accumulate enormous merit in such a short span of time is by rejoicing in the virtues of others. So the third line says, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. Now the road is clear and your car has enough fuel. What are you going to do with this? What kind of journey are you going to take? Last line says, I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. And the journey is the journey of enlightenment, journey towards enlightenment. This is what we're going to achieve. Okay, with that in mind, let's say this three times wholeheartedly. Imagine that all sentient beings are joining you. So just think of all this staff here, the staff of the resort. So say they are in Jambi, the place where once the Bodhicitta was so often discussed, being taught, practiced. Now the staff here, why not we give them the opportunity to be with us and include them with us here, and everyone in Indonesia, all sentient beings with us, particularly your two parents with us. With that mind, imagine that you are leading this, like the mother, just bring all the children and inspiring, just teaching them how to say prayers and so forth. It is you are the mother, and everyone is, you are inspiring all others to come with you and undertake this ceremony. Okay, let's say this 3 times together. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Okay, now with this preparation, the actual ceremony is consisted of the following 2 stanzas. And the 2 stanzas, the meaning of which is it consists of 2 things. One pertaining to the enlightened Buddhas, and the number 2 pertaining to yourself. Pertaining to enlightened Buddhas, say, how come that the Buddha Shakyamuni has become such an enlightened being today? Today, becoming the inspiration, source of blessings for all sentient beings. Okay, so this is for 2 factors. Initially, the Buddha Shakyamuni, many lifetimes ago, he was as ordinary as what we are today, but he did not remain as ordinary now. So how come that he is able to become enlightened today is for 2 factors. One, he was motivated by this Bodhicitta spirit, motivated by the motivation of Bodhicitta. One, now to materialize this aspiration to Bodhicitta, he then engaged in the Bodhisattva deeds. He engaged in Bodhisattva deeds like the 6 perfections, 10 perfections, and so forth. 6 perfections: perfection in generosity, ethical discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and the wisdom. And if you want to make it 10, 6 plus 4. 4 is skillfulness, the aspiration, then the power, and the discriminatory wisdom. So the 6 plus 4. So it is by first initially having generated bodhicitta, cultivated this very strong motivation, bodhicitta. I want to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, this motivation. To materialize this aspiration, he engaged in the bodhisattva deeds, like the 6 perfections and the 10 perfections. So if this is how he is successful like this, then I will also follow the example of this great enlightened being, Buddha Shakyamuni, our teacher. So I will also generate bodhicitta, and to materialize this aspiration of bodhicitta, I will also engage in the bodhisattva deeds, bodhisattva practices, 6 perfections, 10 perfections, so forth. So after making this commitment in our life, in our daily life, see how much we can engage in the 6 perfections and 10 perfections to the best we can. Okay, with this mind, let's say this together. And the first line is invoking the Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas. We're just invoking all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who you have visualized in front of us, and also makes the journey you. Let's say this together. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelled in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they have successively dwelled in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I'll generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I'll generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Okay, with this, imagine you have received the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and feel the joy over this, because since time immemorial till today, we we never, let alone actually taking the Aspen Bodhisattva vow, we never even thought of such a thing. We have been always creating harms, creating nuisance on others, creating harms on others and so forth, thereby saddening all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. But today we have done something so good. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are so proud of what you have done today. So this is the greatest offering to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and this is the greatest gift for all your dear mothers and beings. And today you made it. It's amazing you made it, and this is the greatest, the most memorable day. So with that in mind, that having done this, because of this incredible gesture of your warmth, compassion, the sensibility, the wisdom, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're so proud. Like the mother and the young daughter or young son, aged like 6 or 7, for the first time in her life, the life of this young son or the young daughter, going for a public performance on behalf of school, the mother will feel so proud and come as an audience there to see how her son is performing as a young tender daughter, young tender son is making the performance for the public. So the mother will so happily go there. So this is exactly what all the Buddhas Bodhisattvas they are feeling today. They feel so excited. They feel so happy that their own child, like us, each one of us, we have done something so good for the first time, bringing such a good thing, the excitement, happiness to them. Otherwise, since time immemorial till now, bring only the embarrassment, the sadness, and so forth, Bodhisattvas. So they are so happy today. This happiness invokes the Vajra moon that they have at their heart to multiply infinite number of times. In mirages they descend. In mirages like rain shower, they descend. The replicas, they descend. Vajra moon from Buddhas Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that you visualize at your heart, becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, in mirages, all these replicas from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the Vajra moon, they descend to merge with the one that you visualize at the heart of your mother, heart of your father, out of each and every dear mother being in this entire universe. Amazing. This is, if there's one thing that you have done to make the whole Buddhas and Bodhisattvas so happy, and all sentient beings, the greatest gift, if you are to give something, today you did it, today you made it. Amazing. This all happened because of the kindness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Let us slowly start to make 3 prostrations along with all dear sentient beings as a gesture of thanking all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for this happening. Okay, now please take your seats. Okay, page 35. In fact, if this practice, if we can do on a daily basis, this is the greatest meaning of our life. For your information, I think it was 2013. one morning, when His Holiness the Dalai Lama was in Delhi in a hotel, one morning I received a call from the Secretary of His Holiness, one morning, early morning, say like I think 8 a.m. And suddenly the Secretary called me up and saying that His Holiness wants you right now. So I suddenly had to rush through, and I thought what His Holiness is going to tell me. And then His Holiness gave me whole length of the same advice what to do and so forth, all the instructions given. And then one of the important instruction He gave me was that this taking aspiration Bodhisattva vow, He said, whenever you organize programs in Tibet House in Delhi, so why you don't do this taking aspiration Bodhisattva vow in gathering. So I did mention to His Holiness that in fact I've been doing this in group. Whenever there's the Bodhicitta retreat and these things, way before His Holiness called me that day, and then I reported to him that yes, we have been doing this every time we have a big gathering. Then His Holiness was so happy. He said, wow, it's amazing. So you have already started doing this before I tell you to do this. It's amazing, so good. His Holiness felt so happy. And then on top of that, he asked me to add the following stanzas from the page 36. Page 36, stanza 150 down. These stanzas from Bodhi, the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. These stanzas His Holiness asked me to add as a part of this aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And then His Holiness said that, and if you think that people will start backbiting you, saying that these things are added by him, baselessly he added, then write that you clean your hand with Dalai Lama. His Holiness said, clean your hand with Dalai Lama. Just write saying that it is at the advice of His Holiness that this is coming. If you fear that people will backbite you, then you write this. If you don't fear, no need. Okay, so what we are doing is exactly in line with His Holiness's thoughts, and this is the greatest offering to His Holiness. And these things, if we do, if we say we offer like say so much of money, gift, and so forth to His Holiness, please live long. One, another thing is you do these things. Do these things. Even if we don't say anything, please live long. Even if we don't say anything, just do this. His Holiness will 100% live long. Because living long is what? Is a matter of the mental happiness. When he sees that when the mother sees that the child is doing so good, so self-sufficient, does not require anyone to tell the child to study, do your job, these things, when the child does things on her own and doing so well, automatically the mother will live long because the mother is so happy. When happy, then the immune system builds up, it becomes strong. With the immune system, the body lives long. So therefore, this is the best way by which to request for His Holiness to live long, right? We do it, and then on top of that, we make a request. This is even better, right? Okay, so then if you do something good, the way the mother wishes, and then you ask the mother to do something, mother will happily say, yes, I will do it, right? And then you request His Holiness, please live long. He will say, yes, I will live long, right? In fact, I think the same day, I think, I'm not too sure, the same day or the next audience, then I requested His Holiness to live long. His Holiness said, yes, why not? Yes, why not? And then he internally he told me he shared about one of his dreams. He said that he had a dream of I think on the Baldel Hamo, one of the deities, Baldel Hamo. And Baldel Hamo made a prophecy to His Holiness that you will live 103 or 104. This was the prophecy made. Don't worry, so I'll live long. This is what he said. And then last year, December 9th, during the launch of the Master's Course, when His Holiness launched the Master's Course, we requested, then His Holiness was so happy. And then when actually the Master's Course was launched, then he said, this is the book, the Master's Course book. He launched it. After launching this, then another book was requested to be released by His Holiness, another book. and nothing to do with the Master's Course. And then all the photographers, they came to take the photograph of His Holiness releasing that book, and His Holiness instantly dropped that book and picked up the Master's Course book, saying that if you want to take the photograph, this is the one. This is the one which will really help the sentient beings. So he picked up the Master's Course book, and he asked the photographers to take the photograph of this. Okay, so what I'm saying is that so there in the end, again during His Holiness giving scarf to us, then I requested His Holiness to live long. His Holiness said that, why not? When you are doing so good, I also feel inspired to live long. This is what he said. Okay, this is so auspicious for all of us. Okay, so this gesture is what can really make His Holiness happy and make him live long. Okay, with that, let's turn to page 34, last stanza. So now this stanza is primarily to make sure that we remain connected with these two precious teachings even in the next lives, right? That we are not separated from these two precious teachings in the next lives. Okay, let's say this. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious Bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious Bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the two precious Bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Okay, now let's turn to so this part, along with a little bit of explanation, I will do this tomorrow. We'll turn to the dedication prayer, page 43. Page 43. I dedicate the merits thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the three times, and to the holding of the doctrine of Scripture and insight. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect within the two stages. From my two collections, vast is the space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Okay, 3 prostrations.